Just woke up. And so I've been telling people for a long time, for like, I don't know, 3 years ish, that if you have physical ailments or if stuff is going really awry in your life, like you're like, what the then you're going the wrong way. It's the way the universe teaches us to go the correct way. It's the breadcrumb path, right? Okay. Now, everybody in their own process, and that's all fine and dandy. It's cool. We're all just doing the best we can do. All is well. Now, I'm going to use somebody I know as an example. I've been telling, this person is my husband, okay? And I've been telling him for a long time that he's got to, you hear him? You got to dig inside of yourself and figure out what has ever bothered you in your life, okay? And you got to heal those, even if in your own power you figure out, oh yeah, I'm this presence that can literally transmute things like that. You literally just think of something that was messed up that happened in your life, and you can transmute it like that. At the beginning, in the stage that we're figuring this out and learning and healing, we don't know this. So we tend to have to go into it, relive it, feel it, heal it, love it, move forward. And sometimes you have to go back, like, over and over again. I had one that I had to go back, like, I just recently went back to it just to make sure that Lindsay at that point is doing so much better, okay? If we do not choose, right now is the time of latter days. I full-heartedly believe it, okay? If we don't choose to embrace who we truly are, use our free will to make the choice to say, yes, I'm a fractal of God. Yes, I am God. Yes, everything else is God too. Yes, I create this manifestation. This is all my manifestation. Read the Bible. The world, the original world, is all God's manifestation. And then the darkness crept in and did some messed up stuff and started manifesting on their own and grew the world that we see today. Okay? And all of us fell asleep. All of us people of God. All of us are people of God. All of us. Even the darkest of the dark. Okay? There's two options here. You're either going to start feeling these pains and you're going to go total 3D world, which is the world that we're used to before you start waking up. And you're going to just say, oh, my back is killing me, and just, in my husband's case, now remember, none of this is judgment because we're all just where we are. In my husband's case, he's just going to continue working really hard on his body. He's going to continue drinking his beer. He's going to continue smoking his cigars. He's going to continue holding the stress inside because he wasn't taught a different way. And those things are going to eventually kill him. Probably sooner than later because I know what time it is right now. Or he can make the choice to say, okay, fine. I'll start healing myself. I'll start taking care of myself. I'll start spending time in nature. I'll start doing these things. But the choice is yours. You have to make the choice on your own. Are you ready? Or are you just, I'm making a video. And yes, it's about you. Well, not about just you. It's about the world. Either you're going to make the choice to heighten your awareness and figure out who you are and what place and role you play in this existence as whoever your avatar is right now. And I know that it can be hard to grasp, but it doesn't have to be. Or you're going to continue to stay in the world that you're used to, and eventually you will deteriorate. Because you can't, it's just like Who was it? It was just like Abraham. He couldn't cross the Jordan. Tons of people couldn't cross the Jordan. That's why they had to go in the wilderness for 40 years for that generation to pass, because they couldn't get it. The Bible is metaphoric, as well as stories that perhaps have happened and perhaps have not. But irregardless if they happen or not, they're still meaningful. The reason why the people couldn't cross the Jordan, I believe it was Abraham. I don't believe it was Moses. I don't believe, maybe it was Moses. Maybe it was, okay. Abraham couldn't cross the Jordan, but Moses, I better read those stories again. But Moses was the one that had to wander in the wilderness. 2 different stories, I believe. Right? I think. Regardless, they had to wander the wilderness because they couldn't get it. They couldn't get who they are. Nothing is needed but God. He is our Savior. Jesus came as an example for us to do what we needed to do to return back to who we are. Just like everybody else, just like Buddha and Muhammad and freaking Moses, just everybody, okay? Everybody works. This is entirely God's creation. Even the dark stuff. And I don't know how that works yet, because I feel like if that's the truth, then why did God let us fall away in the first place? You know what I mean? I'm sure I'll learn that later in future episodes. But for now, if you're suffering anything, if you have a finger that keeps getting hurt, anything, you have to remember that there's a deeper meaning. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Don't break the patterns. Don't go back into the same old thing. Like, I remember back in the day when I was stuck in my patterns, dude. I used to do pills all the time. Like, all the time. I wasn't really a big drinker, but I was a big, man, like a whore, like a attention whore, you know? Those were my vices. That's just who I was, that I used to cope with the pain of not wanting to face what's truly wrong. And what's truly wrong were the pains and owies that I have accumulated over the many years of being here. Not just as Lindsay, but as my previous people too. This story goes deep. The story goes very deep. And if you're suffering, if you hurt, whether emotionally, physically, mentally, anything, you gotta go within. Everything is written on the tables of your heart. Come on, we can do this.